It's always interesting to debate individual player rankings. Some players you can easily plug into a certain tier, while others it's far more complex. One player that's really hard to properly rank is the Miami Heat's Bam Adebayo. I think there are nights where there's a case to be made that he's somewhere between 12 and 20, and other nights where he's probably somewhere between 20 and 30. I think he's way too good to rank below 30, but of course, that's just my opinion. It's going a bit under the radar, but Adebayo has improved again this year. He's obviously not going to be in the running for the Most Improved Player award, as the finalists for that honor are pretty much set, with Lauri Markkanen, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Tyrese Halliburton clearly leading the way. But Adebayo continues to add more layers to his game. Of course, though, his bread and butter is what he does on the defensive end. There are so many different statistical things you can look at, but with Adebayo, without question, his ability to guard in space on an island is just head and shoulders above just about every other center. Nick Claxton and Evan Mobley are probably the only two that really compare at this point. The way Adebayo moves his feet, uses his strength as resistance, and anticipates the opponent's movements are just outstanding, and these clips against some truly elite players highlight that. The Miami Heat rank number 1 in the league in points allowed in the paint. They by far and away play zone defense more than any other team in the league. In fact, according to Second Spectrum tracking data, they've played zone on more defensive possessions, twice more than the team that's done it the second most, which is the Portland Trail Blazers. And of course, Adebayo is so fundamentally sound defensively that he's just always seemingly in the right spot. This one possession against the Celtics just shows how terrific the Heat and Adebayo are in the zone. And remember, if a team decides to go into a zone defense, almost always it's after a made shot or a stoppage of play. Infrequently do opponents look to post up against Adebayo, but when they do, his strength and resistance is supreme. He just stays so balanced and doesn't get back down very easily. Opponents are averaging the second fewest field goal attempts within 5 feet of the basket against the Heat. On the offensive end is where he's made the most growth. He has taken more shots on drives than any other center in the league, with 140 of them, and he's shooting nearly 51% on those shots. This is a big difference from the last few years. Last season, for instance, he averaged just 1.9 shots on drives, and the year before, 1.8. This year, he's averaging 3.2. He's been pushing the pace a little bit more as well, as he's doing a lot of grabbing and going, which allows him to accelerate up the court and quickly attack the basket. The other thing he's doing a lot of is taking a lot of floaters, although for him, it's probably best to describe them as push shots. Whatever you want to call them, he's already taken 77 of them and has shot 48%. All of last year, he took just 47 floaters. This is quite a fascinating thing, especially for a center. Only Nikola Jokic has taken more floaters among centers this year so far. He's added a mid-range shot to his arsenal this year. Believe it or not, he's averaging the 5th most shots from 10 to 14 feet out, with 3.6 of them per contest. Last year, he averaged 2.3 of them, and he's shooting a better percentage on them, currently at 44%. He has a smooth turnaround jumper. A lot of his shots in general come off rolls. He's actually second behind Joel Embiid in roll man scoring. He's a really good free throw shooter, currently just under 80%, but kind of surprisingly, he doesn't get to the line a ton. He's averaging 5.3 foul shots per game. It remains to be seen if he'll ever add a 3-point shot to his repertoire. It doesn't seem likely at this point, but you never know. We know he's a very good playmaker at his position, but he is averaging the lowest number of assists since his second NBA season. While as detailed before, he's an amazing defender, he does fall into the category of great defenders that doesn't block a ton of shots. He's averaging 0.8 blocks per game. As far as general numbers, he's averaging 21.6 points, 10.2 rebounds, 3.0 assists, 1.1 steals, and as mentioned before, 0.8 blocks, and that is through his first 44 games. So that'll wrap up this video. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe. I will continue to do more player analysis features throughout the season.